If your life feels out of control, do these 5 things daily to drastically change your outcome. Hi, my name is Laurie. I'm a holistic therapist, coach, and intuitive healer. And I'm going to share with you some of my backstory when I had cancer, when I was diagnosed with cancer in my early 20s. These are 5 things specifically that, as I reflect back on why I had so much peace during that time of complete overwhelm and fear, I was practicing these 5 things. I hope they help you. So when I discovered that I had cancer, specifically melanoma, the doctors didn't know what stage it was in. 2 weeks later, a large lump appeared on my head and the doctors were freaking out. So you can imagine how fearful I was in my early 20s to discover that and not know what was happening in my body. The first thing that helped me, and this is the most effective one, and it's also the most difficult one to master, is thinking right. Mastering your mindset. So here are some things that helped me to think right. Now, why is thinking right so important? Well, when you're having a lot of difficult emotions because things feel out of control, things feel out of your control, or maybe you're just feeling overwhelmed, whatever the situation is in your life that's making you feel that way, chances are those emotions are difficult enough or big enough to kind of mess with your mind. Oftentimes, those difficult emotions influence how we think. And those negative thoughts then influence how we feel. And it's kind of this back and forth. We have to interrupt it somewhere. So if you're having these difficult emotions, one of the ways to begin to take control of your inner, even though things are out of control outside of you, one of the ways to help yourself is to begin to change your thinking. The number one thing that helped me to help change the way that I think is to look at every single thing in my life that I was grateful for, documenting it every single day, writing it down in a journal, and practicing gratitude daily helped me to constantly look for the positives, all the different things that were going well. Because when something is not going right in your life, or something is really scary or very overwhelming, that can take up a lot of space in your mind. So if it's taking up like 70% of your mind space, filling it more with positive things is going to start to push out some of the negative. And for me personally, when I began to practice this repeatedly every single day, it didn't take very long. In fact, probably a couple of weeks for that mindset of like the scary feelings to radically shift. And it created a lot more spaciousness in my mind and honestly in my heart and my spirit for more of the good in life. Another way to help support your mindset and thinking right is to pay attention to your 5 senses. What do I mean by that? What I mean is look at the different things that you're watching. The things that you're watching, whether it's on social media, you're scrolling through your phone, or what you're watching on television or on your iPad or whatever you're consuming, the kind of media that you're consuming, paying attention to how it makes you feel. Because oftentimes it's a lot of those small little things over time that can really make you feel like crap. And so when you pay attention and filter what's coming in through your eyes, through your vision, you can begin to filter that and actually only allow things that feel good coming into your vision. And that might be like unfollowing certain content or people. That might look like limiting yourself to only certain channels or certain TV shows that maybe make you laugh, for example. So you want to be really mindful of what you are witnessing, what you are looking at. It's so important to surround yourself with as much positivity as possible. And I know that being around positive people, who are positive all the time may be unrealistic, but you want to limit the drama. You want to limit time spent with people that feel like they're sucking the energy from you. You want to spend time with people who are nurturing and adding to your life and filling your cup rather than taking away from it. So paying attention to what you're watching, who you're hanging out with, practicing gratitude, those 3 specific things are going to dramatically increase your thoughts, your mindset, and thinking right. And that leads to number 2, talking right. When your thoughts begin to be right, when you start thinking right, you start talking right. But because changing your thoughts can be a difficult process, sometimes you might notice yourself talking about things in a negative way or talking about yourself in a negative way. That's something to really be mindful of, pay attention to it, and filter it. So one of the things that helped me, and it was really difficult for me to initially shift this because it was such a autopilot. I would often identify with the cancer, like saying my cancer or I have cancer. It's almost like it was a part of me. And so just being mindful of how I was speaking about my experience with cancer, not denying it, but not over identifying with it either, really helped me to talk in a way that helped me to feel better internally. So pay attention to your words. Notice what is coming out of your mouth. Notice how you're speaking about yourself, about the situation, and about other people. That's going to help you. And actually, that's going to also help your thought process as well, which is what we talked about in number 1. Number 3 is eat right, drink right. What you're putting in your body and the energy that you're choosing is either going to be nourishing, neutral, or depleting. So you want to fuel your mind and your body with nutrients that actually make you feel good. If there are certain foods that just make you feel crappy, stop filling your body with that. It makes such a big difference. So drinking more water, limiting or eliminating caffeine, alcohol, whatever doesn't make you feel good. So noticing the foods that make you feel good and decreasing or even eliminating the foods and liquids and drinks that don't make you feel very good. Being mindful of what you're eating and drinking might be kind of a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised at how often people neglect that. And this is just a simple reminder, a friendly reminder, that all of those things actually do make a difference in how you feel, which can then influence how you're thinking and how that inner chemistry, even your immune system, is functioning based on all of those things working synergistically in your favor. Number 4 is move right, moving your body every single day. Now, that might look differently for each of you. For some of you, moving your body on a regular basis might look like doing 20 minutes of yoga at home, or doing some stretching, or simply walking around the block. For some of you, it might look like going to the gym and doing a really hard, intense workout for 2 hours a few times a week. Ideally, you want to continually move your body on a daily basis because the exercise is like an antidepressant. It's a natural antidepressant. It's going to increase your energy. It's going to curb fatigue. It's going to support you feeling more grounded and centered. It helps to move difficult, negative energy out of your body. It's a really healthy way to feel more centered and grounded. One of the things that I did personally when I was going through that stage of not knowing what stage the cancer was in is walking to a lake every single day. I loved being out in nature. For me, going on nature walks was so therapeutic, and being out in nature had so many healing elements. Being next to the water, being near trees, I would take my journal and just jot down a lot of the things that I was grateful for. I would pray, I would cry if I had to, if I had, some difficult emotions coming up. And for me personally, going on nature walks has always been one of the most healing things for me. And so any kind of exercise that you can do to support your body, stretch your body, get into your body, move your body, particularly if you can do it outside with fresh air, the better. And number 5 is to have some sort of spiritual practice, whether that's prayer or meditation or yoga or being out in nature, whatever it is that connects you to your spirit and to what is greater than yourself. What are those things that nourish that part of you that is untouchable, the thing that you cannot see? It's that part of your soul, your spirit, your higher consciousness. What are those things that help you to feel that connection and to be nourished. What I would do on a daily basis is walk to the nearby lake and take my journal and write down things I was grateful for. And I would have a conversation with God. I would pray by writing down what I was worried about, what I was grateful for, all the different things that are kind of weighing on my heart. I would write that down in my journal as a way of praying to my higher power, to God. And so whatever that spiritual practice looks like for you, I highly encourage doing that and making that part of your daily practice, even if it's just for a few minutes a day, can make a big difference. So as a recap, these are the 5 things that can drastically change the way that you feel about the situation that you're in that might be overwhelming or stressful. They're the very things that gave me significant amount of peace when I practice these things daily. Number 1 is to think right. Number 2 is to watch my words, to talk right. Number 3 is to eat and drink right. Number 4 is to move right. And number 5 is to pray or have a spiritual practice. I hope you found these 5 things to be helpful, and leave a comment below and let me know if there's something else that you think should be on the list. What is something that really nourishes your mind, body, and spirit? And be sure to subscribe for more tips and tools and strategies on how to empower your mind and your body and your spirit from the inside out.